First episode of Open Gym. Number 1, man. This is Marvell Nichols hollering at you, man. Marvell is spelled with the 1, so you know that I'm second to none, man. So we got in the building. Who we got, man? We got Rondell Southerland.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
We got Big Codey Larsen, a.k.a. Codey Chicken. No roast in the building, man. First of all, Rondell, we can get to you for a second. But before we get to you, big shout out to our third official member, T Nesbitt. Hope you get well soon, man. Can't wait for to get working with you again, and we're gonna hold it down in the meantime. But Rondell, man, can you tell us a little bit something about to the people about yourself?
Rondell Southerland, R. Southerland Film on Instagram. I'm just a sports buff. Love basketball. Favorite team is the Cavs. Probably since I grew up watching LeBron. What about you, Marvell?
I just been a fan of basketball in itself.
True.
I'm a huge fan. I never was really a fan of a specific team until I got a little bit older. My favorite team is the Denver Nuggets. I know it's weird. It's different. It's very, very, very different.
Very different.
The reason for that is because growing up, and my dad was a football head, but when he would watch basketball and college basketball specifically, he's a big Syracuse fan. So the one player that came out of Syracuse, as we all know in our generation, that was, fire, was Carmelo Anthony. So when Carmelo Anthony got drafted to the Nuggets, I've just been a Nuggets fan ever since. When he left, I was still remain a Nuggets fan because I was like, I'm old enough not to be a bandwagon. Sure. Right. So, I done stuck with the team. And that was it for me.
Okay, well, let's tell them what Open Gym is about.
Open Gym is a show where we're going to be talking about a lot of fun topics. From my creativity standpoint, we each have different views on how we want to run the show, but that's the beauty of the show. Right. My personal point of view is I want to make, since we already have a basketball show, I want to make Open Gym the fun show. Not to say that the other shows aren't fun, but I wanted to be able to stand out, give us narrative topics, give us top 10 lists, top 5 lists, player comparisons, like I said, narrative conversations. Like we can compare and like, oh yeah, is such and such a Hall of Famer, or where do we see such and such being projected, or where do we see teams at or players at specifically in the next 5 years, or in comparison to the players in their past.
So you like a bunch of what ifs and all that.
A bunch of what ifs, a bunch of narratives, a bunch of what would you do, a bunch of what ifs, stuff like that. Sure. Just to get your brain working.
We could always fit that in. I love to do fun stuff too, but you know how TV, he wants to, he likes the facts and everything. And we gonna add that in too, along with the fun stuff,
Jeez, Codey, I thought you cracked your neck. You were adjusting your headphones.
Rocking a lot of different pairs of headphones today, trying to get this behind the scenes ready for you guys.
He got some Beats earpieces on right now. But what more can you tell us about yourself, Rondell, as far as basketball? What's your background as far as the love of basketball that you have? Do you have a love for it?
I have a love for it. I grew up playing it along with baseball and football. So it was probably like the second sport I was good at. Well, according to my pops, I was best at baseball. To me, it was football that I was best at. But basketball was probably like the second one I was probably best at. And I just grew up, loving it, loving playing it, everything. And that's just really it. That's how I truly connected to it. Just playing it with my cousins, it getting heated sometimes. Sometimes it's not, because you know how it be. Just outside playing in the gym. Just pick up.
I don't remember telling you that you were that good at baseball.
That's crazy.
That's a joke.
That's crazy.
No, but my personal love for basketball has always been basketball's been my definitive number one sport.
Okay.
When I was growing up, when I was a kid growing up, and I would stay with my grandparents, my papa was a Lakers fan. So in the early 2000s, the Lakers ran the household.
Right.
You know, in both of my grandparents' households, the Lakers were everything. So you had Kobe and Shaq and whatnot. Fun fact, the very first time I put a pin on my favorite player ever was around the 2000, 2001, maybe even 2002 Western Conference playoff series between the Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I remember always watching the Lakers like, okay, these guys are cool. I don't like these little. I was always one of those kids that paid attention to colors.
You ain't like the jerseys?
Yeah, I love no. Like yellow is a bright color for me, so it's just hard on the eyes. And plus, big people should never wear yellow ever. That's just my personal opinion.
That's crazy.
No, like Shaq in yellow. Are you serious?
Come,
just looking like a giant lemon drop on the court. I don't want to see that. Whatever. That's neither here or there. But I remember one of the players on the Timberwolves had made a long mid-range shot and was going off during the series. And I'm just like, who is this like skinny, dark-skinned dude in blue getting buckets? Number 21. And that, you know, if you put in context clues, that's Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett is my first favorite player of all time.
Your first favorite?
My first favorite.
So how you found? So KG is your first favorite.
KG's my first favorite.
But you fell in love with Carmelo through watching him at Syracuse, and then you became a Nuggets fan.
Yes. I mean, like on my own terms, I would have definitely been a Timberwolves fan.
Okay.
That's where it came from. But like, you know, I was always more so of like, my dad was kind of like a big deal to me. So it was like, if he watched something, except for the Steelers, when it came to Steelers, I wasn't going to be a Steelers fan. No.
I'm glad you're not a Steelers fan. Yeah.
We'll have to have a different discussion on that. But, you know. But yeah, Carmelo Anthony, his impact on how I watched basketball was tremendous. I had a Carmelo Anthony jersey when I was growing up. I had a Garnett jersey too. I had a Michael Jordan Wizards jersey.
You had the Wizards jersey?
I had the Wizards jersey. I actually took a school picture in the Wizards jersey.
All I had was the LeBron Cavs, and from his first time, and I want to say it was either Magic or Shaq that I had. I had his jersey when I was growing up. But yeah, if I had to say my second team, it would probably be the Lakers. So it's kind of perfect that LeBron is playing for them right now.
I don't have a second team in basketball. I mean, yeah, I don't have a second team in basketball.
I mean,
if I did, it would be an Eastern team and a Western team.
Right.
I don't think
I mean, mine's is already set up like that.
Yeah. That's how I try to do it too, and when it comes to other sports, but it's not going to work.
Right.
But yeah, I had I still have my Allen Iverson jersey too. From when I was growing
Philly
up.
or Denver?
Philly.
Okay.
I had a Philly jersey. It was the black one.
I think I had an Iverson jersey for like a minute.
Who didn't have an Iverson jersey?
Right.
That's all right.
I want to say I had the throwback. It was like I want to say I had the blue and red on two different sides.
Yeah, the Calvin Cambridge joint.
Yeah, I want to say I had the throwback. Yeah, that was nice.
I would say, remember those times when you when we used to have basketball jerseys back in our youth, and then you used to wear it backwards?
I never wore mine backwards.
I think I wore mine backwards for a day and did not like it.
I mean, it's uncomfortable. I never got it.
It really is uncomfortable. Yeah. Like your arms have to maneuver different. I don't like that at all. But in a sense, so Rondell, have you ever played organized basketball before?
Organized. I mean,
like for a team?
Yes, yeah. I played I can't remember what the league was called, but I played for the UNLV Rebels. I want to say that's what they were called. Over on Cassidy. I played over there in that recreation center. And I also played at a church league. I forgot where that's at. But yeah, I used to play over at Cassidy. I played on a slightly, I guess you'd say, a little professional team. What about you?
I dropped 40 casually fresh off the couch. That's the start of it. I can just tell fans. That's another fun fact. I dropped 40 fresh off the couch. Just whenever you. But I definitely played organized basketball before. I started out really, really young. I played for Westgate, the recreational center league, and I played on the 76ers team. The 76ers back then weren't good.
But I thought you dropped 40 off the couch.
This was before my prime.
Okay.
I mean, I've been in my prime for a very long time, Rondell. Right. This is way before my prime. This was like chubby cheeks, missing teeth, still and didn't have a hairline though. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but nah, I was on the 76ers team, and I remember the team to beat was the Lakers. How ironic is this?
I mean, in mine, the team to beat was the Tar Heels. So, yeah.
And that'll forever be the case. Because
forever.
Go Heels. Anywho,
yeah,
I'm a Tar Heel fan too.
I forgot about that. That's crazy. You in the state of Ohio and you a Tar Heels fan?
I don't like a lot of Ohio teams. I don't. Like, I really don't like Ohio teams. I don't know why. I just grew up with them all being trash. That's just how it is.
I mean, the Cavs weren't trash when we were growing up. We the same age.
The Cavs were pretty dust when we were growing up. Not dust, but like, let's just look at it. If there was no LeBron James, there's dust.
All right, I'll give you that.
And then you also got to look at it too. LeBron wasn't always I always thought LeBron was overrated growing up. I did, personally. That's the biggest hot take I've probably said in the past month and a half. I hated LeBron. It wasn't because, like, it was so much popular. I don't like popular.
Right.
That's just how I am.
Well, I mean, Carmelo, though.
Yeah, I mean.
He was the second biggest thing out of that draft. They came out of the same draft, right?
Thank my dad.
That's...
you gotta think
you don't like popular things, but you love Carmelo enough to love the...
Oh, yeah, I stopped loving Carmelo after his re-signing with the Knicks. That was when I stopped. That was legit it for me. Okay. I was like, you mean to tell me you're not going to Chicago, where it's an easier championship, and you have Derrick Rose, who needs help offensively on that team, and is a reigning MVP, but you decide to stick with the New York Knicks for the money? Like, oh, yeah, I got 2 gold medals. I don't need an NBA ring. That's why I'm in the NBA in the first place, right?
Who was the coach at that time? What, Tom Thibodeau?
Oh, for the Bulls?
Yeah, for the Bulls.
Oh, yeah, I think it was Thibodeau.
Yeah, so.
I don't think Hoiberg got hired until, 2016?
Yeah, it was Thibodeau.
Okay, yeah. So, Thibodeau. I don't like Thibodeau as a coach sometimes.
Yeah, I was about to say, you don't even like him as a coach, so you should be happy that Carmelo stayed on the Knicks.
But here's the reason why I don't like Thibodeau as a coach. The reason why I don't like Thibodeau as a coach is because he runs his players down to the ground. Right. I can name 3 examples. Derrick Rose, duh. Yeah. Jimmy Butler, duh. Luol Deng. I'm very confident 2 out of the 3 players that I just named led the league in minutes at one point while under the Chicago Bulls roster.
I'll give you the first 2. I'm very confident
in that. I know for a fact Luol Deng did, which is nuts. Who gives Luol Deng 38 minutes a game? First of all, he went to Duke. Second of all, who does that? Like, he averages what? 16 points a game, if that?
Right. All right.
14? Oh, man. Listen. Well, so, I don't like Thibodeau as a coach also because, like I said, he runs his players to the ground.
Right.
The narrative of Derrick Rose being hurt is I put full responsibility. I don't put full responsibility because there has been interviews where I've read, or articles, I should say, where I've read where Luol Deng said Derrick Rose would just not sit down for nothing. Like, he would just play, go stupid hard in practices. Would not sit down ever. Would not rest. But, again, like, that's with the mindset with the coach that you have as well. The coach has a lot to do with the player's mindset as far as motivation, as far as game planning, as far as anything else you want to name as far as strategy. And I just think that the biggest flaw of strategy is it's game 1 of a playoff series and you're up by 10 with less than 3 minutes left in the game. You know, I understand kind of why you would keep a star player in. I only understand that because I play 2K a lot. But so I stat pad.
I mean, if he's hot, then why sit him down?
You would sit him down because you gotta see another day. The playoffs.
But I mean, that 10-point lead could be snatched away like it's nothing.
Yeah, but Philly, that was Philly's last year of going to the playoffs before they super tanked. If I'm not mistaken, I think they made the playoffs one more year, and that was the year after, and that was it for them. Then it was trust the process for like 5 years. How do you trust the process for half a decade? What are you trusting?
I mean, it worked, so there was a process.
Did it work?
It's worked somewhat.
Have they made the Eastern Conference Finals since?
Yeah.
I don't think it's worked.
They made it last year.
That was not the conference finals. It was the semifinals.
That was the semifinals. I mean, they was like, what, a bucket away from making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Come on. He got that lucky bounce. And you know he got that lucky bounce.
Hey, man, that shot is hilarious because all I keep hearing is Kanye West's Father Stretch My Hands, and I just think of that in slow-mo.
I mean, it's a beautiful song, and it's beautiful in that moment, but like...
Oh, yeah, it's great. Any clutch shot with that song in slow motion is perfect.
Yes.
That's how I always view it. Dame shot against the Thunder. Oh, my God, Dame shot against the Thunder.
Is that Father Stretch My Hands on that one, too?
There's probably one out there.
I thought that was...
I guarantee there's one out there. Actually, Rondell, speaking of NBA players, who's your favorite current NBA player? Is there like a list you have or a small list?
Favorite current is still going to be LeBron. I guess since he retired, so it's not D-Wade no more. So if I had a list, I'd probably just have LeBron, Kawhi, Giannis, DeMar. Although them years in Toronto was kind of wasted, but I still like DeMar and probably Russell. That's probably like my 5 right there. Westbrook, I should say. Russell Westbrook.
I have a starting 5 of favorite players.
You have
like each position.
Was that each position?
I think so. Dang. Well, technically not. I mean, no, technically yeah. Wait, did you name a shooting guard? No, you didn't.
No. Who I named?
Because you named Giannis, Kawhi, LeBron, DeRozan, and
Westbrook.
And Westbrook.
So that kind of is a starting 5 right there.
Yeah, that's a starting 5. I'll count that.
Yeah.
Because you can put Giannis at center. My starting 5 would be Damian Lillard. Shooting guard, I don't know. It depends on what you want to call Luka.
Right.
I would call Luka a shooting guard. If you don't want to call Luka a shooting guard, I'm definitely giving the shooting guard spot to Klay Thompson.
Okay.
Klay Thompson is the most underrated player in the league to me.
Right.
That's just my opinion. At small forward, I got KD.
That makes sense.
KD is just unstoppable. There's nothing you can compare to KD.
I mean, I would probably say LeBron in his young prime. He could probably stop KD.
He could stop KD?
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't think anyone can fully stop KD, but hold him to at least like 20. Like, come on. Sometimes people
20.
Sometimes people be thinking they stopping KD and he just like points up and then he got 40 points on him.
I don't know about KD only dropping 20. That's the scary part to me. I don't know about that one. But power forward, I would go with Giannis.
Right.
I think that he's primarily a power forward. That's how they would count him. Because he was primarily a small forward for a while. I
mean, when he develops a jump shot, he might be something else. You never know.
I think they would keep him at between the 3 and 5 spot. And then at my center, the second greatest fathlete in the world. Oh, he's not even a fathlete anymore. He dropped weight. He dropped like 25, 30 pounds. Nikola Jokic.
Oh, I thought you was talking about Porzingis. Didn't he drop weight?
Ew. Porzingis?
You said Luka, so.
Ew. Ew. Anywho.
That's crazy. What's your problem with Porzingis?
My problem with Porzingis is I don't really have a problem. I just don't think. I don't like his trajectory anymore.
Okay.
As far as his career. I feel bad about it. You want to talk about wasted years with DeRozan. Let's talk about wasted years with Porzingis. I'm so sorry, Porzingis.
I mean,
man.
So you say the Knicks wasted his years?
The Knicks have probably been the sorriest organization in the past 20 years. Probably.
Yeah.
No, I'll take it back. The Hornets.
The
But can you
Hornets.
really say the Hornets because they were in
I
New
mean,
Orleans?
They kind of.
You can't necessarily say Charlotte. You can say the city of Charlotte. I mean, Bobcats / Hornets.
I mean,
I don't like that.
I would say at least they try. At least you could say that they try. Like Jordan tries at least with the Hornets. He still owns them, don't he?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah,
he's one of the worst owners ever. He really is.
Well, he could be the greatest basketball player, but that don't mean he got to be the greatest owner.
Any owner that is willing to say, yeah, let's go ahead and draft Michael Kidd-Gilchrist needs to get out of office now. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
What's your problem with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist?
Everything.
Wasn't he a Tar Heel or was he?
No, he played for Kentucky.
Okay, I know he played with one.
But he was disgustingly horrible.
Was he?
Especially his jumper. Have you ever seen his jumper?
I didn't know he had a jumper.
Exactly. But it's terrifyingly ugly. Like I'm talking like Sean Marion would be proud
Of
to
his
have
jumper?
to have the jumper that Sean Marion has. He would be proud
Oh, wow.
in comparison to Michael Kidd-Gilchrist's jumper. It's poor. It's the physical embodiment of throwing up. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break here. Great to have you guys with us. We're gonna take a small little break. This is Open Gym, #1 episode. This is Marvell Nichols, Rondell Southerland, Codey Chicken.
Rotisserie chicken.
And we'll see you guys soon. Yeah, welcome back. This is Open Gym, and I'm Marvell Nichols, Rondell Southerland,
Hell yeah.
and my man, Big Codey Larsen, a.k.a.
Rotisserie chicken? Stop it, bro.
No side dish.
That's tragic.
No side dish. Anywho, I have a question for you, Rondell.
What's up?
And I also have a question for the audience, just to run some mental juices up and get you guys creative here. Now, the NBA bubble,
Yep.
right? The NBA bubble is, to some, complex, to some, unfair, to some, a great opportunity, and to some, an asterisk
Right.
for the league. But my question to you, Rondell, and Codey, you can participate in this question too. If you were the NBA, how would you have handled this entire situation? Or would you even handle it differently?
I mean, personally, I think they handle it correctly. I don't know any other way they could have went at it. To just then to have like a hub city, put them in a bubble, keep them there for however long the rest of the remaining season is. I don't think there's any other way they could have did this, unless they just didn't have a season.
Me personally, after hearing some ideas and watching shows and podcasts and stuff like that, and reading articles, my personal opinion is I liked how they had the 16 seed system.
Right.
I like that rumor. I think that made the absolute most sense as far as fairness, as far as not bringing in more teams with losing records.
Right. Well, I mean, they had the idea of having a second hub city with the losing teams.
Yeah, they did, but I don't like that idea either. My thing is, too, with the hub cities, it's very dangerous, especially Florida.
Right.
I'm scared for Florida.
I mean, I think they have like 10K cases of COVID every day or something like that.
Yeah, that's scary because they spike up the most out of any state in the United States, I believe.
Yeah, because everyone's out there on them beaches.
Everyone's out on. I think that's a level 10. It's between levels 8 and 10. I was reading about.
Right.
As far as your risk of getting it. This is terrible. I don't like the idea of Florida being the hub city for any sport. Honestly, this is not just for basketball. It's just you gotta look at the statistics. You gotta look at what's around you.
All right.
But I also, back to the system, I would have ran how I would have ran it is a 16 seed system, and after each round, do a reseeding of the teams.
Okay, but since you don't like Florida being the hub city, where will you have that at?
See, that's a scary thing for me. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, we want to go to Basketball Island," like Dana White does with Fight Island.
Right.
I mean, I'm very, very confident that the NBA has that finance to do it.
Most
If they
definitely.
do, why not? I mean, it's going. I see. Never mind, because it's so easy to build a UFC ring than it is to build a basketball court.
I mean, they were building basketball courts in the hotels, weren't they? Like little practice.
Were they, Cody? Is there any?
Yeah, they were working on several practice courts just to get them ready for the season in Orlando. So,
Okay.
but that also comes with you have to have the space available, and not every area has the space available. Like
Right.
I'm sure that this was like I don't know, don't know off the top of my head, but probably like a hotel, not a hotel, but it's like a big enough building to have 6 or 7 basketball courts in it, and it was just available space. I don't know if you go around the country if there's going to be that option everywhere. So
fair enough.
Yeah, fair.
So, yeah, it's I wouldn't know where to have it. My thing is too, can we stop undermining some states that we don't speak on?
What you mean by that?
Like this will be a perfect ample opportunity to just have other states take on the responsibility of having sports. Like
So you mean like a Midwestern state?
not even that. Okay, prime example. Why don't we just have the basketball season in one of the Dakotas? Why does it have to be a big metropolitan city?
I can see that because like we're technically a hub city for what is it, TBT?
We were also going to be a hub city for NHL.
That was probably never in the discussion.
No, it wasn't in discussion.
I mean, it was in the discussion, but
like as in being taken serious,
yeah,
it was iffy.
it was iffy.
iffy. But I like I said, like you can put it in, I don't know, Nebraska. Why not? Just put it in Maine or something. Just do something different. Put the games in Vermont. We'll never get a Vermont NBA team ever. Idaho. Just go ahead and just like rent out a potato farm.
But I mean, you gotta think of
put a basketball court there. We'll be straight.
You gotta think of all the certain accommodations that it would come in putting in a major metropolitan area. Everything that's around it, the restaurants.
Who
So
would care?
just real quick here,
A hotel like this with that space is going to be in a place like Nebraska, a place like Idaho or the Dakotas.
Why not? Even then, you just need a basketball court. I'm pretty sure that they have nice sized basketball courts. If not, they can probably put something there. It's the NBA.
Right.
We're talking a multi-billion-dollar company.
yeah, and if you look closely at this picture here too, it's just the ballroom in Disney. I mean, they literally transformed a room that they had on the premise there in Walt Disney World into an area for a basketball court.
And there's still mad carpet down.
That's another thing. I mean,
There's
they're
carpet.
they're partnering with Disney. Disney has money, the resources. What other place has that much resources as Disney does? To house, how many teams is there? About
30.
30 teams?
Oh, as far as NBA teams?
No, yeah, as far as NBA teams in the hub city, how many are?
Oh, in the hub city.
Yeah, how many are actually going to be there? Is it 8 or is it 16? Because you gotta think on the place that's gonna. You gotta think on the place that's gonna host them, and does that place have the resources to host those many teams and those many players?
Now, my rebuttal to that is I wouldn't think that the NBA would need Disney's help for something like this. That's just my rebuttal. If like I said, I'm using UFC as an example here, and I don't know how fair it is to actually compare the two.
Well, I mean, UFC is what they're sponsored by. I don't know who they're sponsored by, but yeah, if they're sponsored by Reebok's what billion-dollar company.
I'm pretty sure
they're probably helping out with resources.
Does Reebok have more money than UFC? I wouldn't think so.
It probably does.
I think also we touched on it earlier. Is at the end it comes down to space. Like UFC can do Fight Island because there's I don't know how many people there at once, maybe 30.
It's more of an individual sport.
Right, and NBA, they have to get hundreds of people into one area and try to find the space for that. So
Right, that's why I was saying, like, I don't know how fair it is to compare the two. But in retrospect, it's like my comparison comes from the NBA is bigger than the UFC in every way possible. Marketing, popularity,
Right.
existing for a long time. And you would think that the NBA, when looking at UFC, or any organization looking at UFC, when UFC was the first to ever put live sports together, I thought personally it was going to be a transcend. But I also understand it's not going to be that heavy of a transcend due to the simple fact we're in very troubling times. So you're dealing with multiple people, contracts, money, flights. There's a lot of stuff like that. Just well conditioning of yourself and staying out of people's way and making sure you're safe.
All right.
It's a lot that goes into it. So again, that's why I also say I don't know how fair it is to compare, but I would say if they were to do something, I would do so.
Like
Taking that
UFC
direction.
with the Fight Island. Okay.
But that's just my take on it. My whole thing again, like I said, for the scenario of the NBA playoffs, I would just go with the 16 seed
And then reseed them after
and
that.
reseed them after every round.
I don't know. I mean, this would probably be the year to put something like that into practice, but I especially seeing as it seems like there's a recurrence of the of COVID. I would think they would just want to do it quickly, so keep the same system they already got, just get it out over and done with. Put an asterisk by by whoever wins.
And the funny thing is, like, the NBA has always been one to kind of experiment.
Right.
I would say, like, if any year that you just need a freebie to try something out, this would be the year.
Yeah.
I would say this is the perfect year to try, a different type of system for the playoffs or a different kind of scenario to where you're trying out new things and not getting a heavy risk out of it.
Right. But I mean, I like the 16 seed idea, but it's the reseeding part that just I don't think they would want to do
I just think the bubble isn't cool.
at
It's
all.
just you're subtracting 8 teams. You're only playing 5 games. Players don't want to do it. Players are finding reasons not to do it because money situations, logical situations. It's just like, what are we winning?
Right.
Dame said he doesn't want to play if he's not going to win anything. I completely understand that.
Well, I mean, that's completely different than to some of them.
And who in the world wants to see the Wizards in the playoffs? Why? Why?
I mean,
all of Washington's organizations, sports-wise, are trash except for the Nationals.
I was gonna say the Nationals just won the what was it? They won the what?
yeah, they won the World Series.
What? See,
Yeah, I'm saying, like, the Nationals are the only good team in DC.
I wouldn't say that.
And I'm
but-
talking all sports.
So I have a question for you guys, unprompted. So the Nets are without like 6 of their best players because of injury, coronavirus. The Wizards are without Beal and Wall. One of those teams is gonna have to make the playoffs. If you're Adam Silver, would you have an emergency meeting upon hearing that both of those things are true, and say, look, let's have 9 teams from the West make it and only 7 from the East?
Why not?
What,
Because that's typically how the playoffs look anyway.
Because your dream scenario, if you're Adam Silver, is, hey, let's get Zion and Ja Morant in the playoffs, and let's not worry about the Nets or the Wizards at all.
I mean, they
Don't
can
get me
always
started on
sign
Zion.
some. The Nets or the Wizards can always sign someone. Like we just saw JR get signed with the Lakers. So.
Yeah,
That's
but
the Lakers. The Lakers are going to have the clout to do whatever they
I was
want.
going to say, who do you think's going to sign with the Wizards just to get swept out of the first round?
I mean, who does the Nets still have though? I don't
just
know.
get
Who,
Jordan McRae.
Off the top of my head, Karis LeVert is the first guy that comes to mind.
is Spencer still playing for the Nets?
Go
or
ahead
is
and
he
call
hurt?
up Pablo Prigioni.
He's out.
He's out.
Yeah, he is out.
Oh yeah, so yeah, definitely the Nets should definitely sit out.
Shoot, if I was the Wizards, go ahead and sign Jamal Crawford. You have nothing to lose.
Then he dropped what, like 50?
51. His
In
last
his
game
game?
in the NBA. Why not?
He'd be perfect to sign. Why not?
He's 39. That's why.
I mean, look. LeBron is what, 33? He's still balling.
33. Oh no, he's 35.
Is he 35?
Oh yeah, he's 35.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
Okay, so
Mr.
LeBron's
Rondell.
still balling. Kobe was balling when he was what, 30, 38 at least.
Kobe's injury list is longer than the last 10 minutes of church.
True.
I swear it is. Kobe's injury list is a Bible in itself.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess you could lead them 2 teams out, but if they could sign someone, why not?
But Cody, back to what you were saying, I would definitely do 9 West teams and 7 East teams because that's how the playoffs always look. Definitely. Like, you always have at least 2 losing teams in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. It's doo-doo.
Like, I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but if you're Adam Silver, you have to at least consider it because I would think the product of having both Zion and John Morant, like, hype-wise, would be better than just a beat-up Wizards team and a beat-up Nets team.
My thing about this is, if we want to talk Grizzlies and Pelicans, that's actually a good conversation to have. Grizzlies, Pelicans. Who would you rather see?
Who would I rather see? Grizzlies. Why? I mean, who is it? It's John Morant and I forgot his other name.
Jaren Jackson.
Yeah, Jared Jackson. Like, they seem like a nice duo. Like, from the highlights that I was watching of them two,
So
they was balling. So I mean, I feel like they would bring more attention, especially if they gotta be a severe underdogs. I feel like they would bring more attention than Zion, because I feel like he takes over the team. It's like, yeah, you got Brandon Ingram, yeah, you got Lonzo Ball, but I mean, other than Lonzo feeding it to Zion and Brandon playing here and there, but wasn't he injured at some point with his blood clots?
I think so.
Doesn't he still have that problem? Who knows if he's gonna continue to not be injured from those blood clots? Like, that took Chris Bosh out.
Chris Bosh.
Yeah, Chris Bosh out the league. So,
my answer is the Pelicans. I would much rather see the Pelicans than the Grizzlies. The reason for that is, as much as I hate Zion, and especially in comparison to Ja, I think that the Pelicans are a much, much, much better team.
I feel like they're more complete, but I just feel like they're more prone to lose players than anything.
The one thing I love about the Pelicans, now outside of their potential, they are a long team.
Right.
And put them together, I think they would be great defensively. Like, give them a couple years, that's going to be one of the best defensive teams in the league.
I can see that.
I guarantee it. You got Lonzo Ball, who's going to be NBA all defensive something soon. You got Drew Holiday. That's clamps in itself. Brandon Ingram is long. He has to get better at defending, but we'll get there. He's still very young.
All right.
Zion, mad potential.
I mean,
and they got Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes, the long, light-skinned dude from Texas.
Right.
I like him a lot. I liked him in college. I just didn't know what he was going to be like, or how he was going to be used. I think they also have Jahlil Okafor. That team is full of Duke players. I hate it.
I was just about to ask, do you just hate Zion because he's Duke?
I hate Duke everything.
That's crazy.
As much as anybody hates anything, I hate Duke.
Well, guess you are a Tar Heels fan. So
more than just a Tar Heels fan. I'm an advocate. All right. But we're going to take one more commercial break. Thank you for guys for tuning in. And this is Open Gym. I hope to see you guys back soon real quick. Welcome back to Open Gym, and we're being brought to you by Mojo Sports Gear. Rondell, Southerland in the building. The Dellenville connection, we here. Codisserie Chicken.
What up?
A.K.A. Codeine Lean.
Okay.
What's going down, man? How's everybody feeling today, first of all?
I mean, I'm good. I'm a little tired.
How are you feeling? You got a show debuting tomorrow, too.
Not necessarily debuting, but I will be having a show back. The Fight Card, it will be making its return. Oh wait, no, that's Sports Unfiltered is going to be tomorrow, and then we have the fight card coming up on Friday. So I look forward to it. I'm going to be here a lot, and I just have a lot to say about what's going to be coming up on Saturday as far as the UFC 251 Fight Island card. I'm so excited, man. Jorge Masvidal versus Kamaru Usman.
And Rondell, your new show debuting tomorrow.
Yeah,
Talk a little bit about it, Rondell.
Yeah, Rondell.
Yeah, I got a show tomorrow. The Nutty North, me, T Nesbitt, who's not here right now, and
Shout out to T, man.
Maurice Edwards, or Coach as we like to call him. We're gonna be here talking, AFC North football. I'm a Bengals fan. Coach is a Ravens fan. T is a Browns fan. I'm trying to get Codey over here because he a Browns fan, so I'm trying to get Codey to help out tomorrow if T's not here. But if T's here, we gonna have the show.
How are y'all not gonna have a Steeler fan in here?
We was looking for a Steeler fan, but we don't really know many. I think Travis is a Steelers fan, but
Yeah, Travis is busy with a lot of other stuff.
yeah, and I know he comes in for the NASCAR show right on Friday.
Red flag.
So yeah.
Fair. I just might have to defend the Steelers maybe like one day.
Yeah, you
might defend them.
I mean, you say your dad's a Steelers fan. You might
My dad was a heavy Steelers fan.
Yeah, you might as well pop in.
But that's gross. I have to defend the Steelers.
That's crazy.
I'm a Cowboys fan. What you want? Anywho.
That's even worse.
No, it's not. So, Rondell, anything on your mind?
Nah, not exactly. What you mean?
All right, so.
Oh, you wanted me to plug in the?
No. So, okay. So there was a post that I saw this morning before I had gotten to the school building.
Okay.
And
it looks like this.
It looks just like that, actually. And I looked at these teams, and I'm just like, I don't know, because you can easily look at B from face value and be like, oh yeah, that's easy. But I can actually make an argument for every team except for C. I don't know what type of team C is. I don't know what's going on here. Why?
Hold up. Is that Isaiah Thomas in A?
Yes.
So it's Thomas, Kobe, Carmelo, Giannis, and KT.
Cat.
KT, Cat. It's the same thing.
You call him Carl Towns. Okay, that's cool. Call him Cat. Carl Anthony. We don't skip the A.
Yeah.
And I picked D for the record.
Ron, what's your okay? I'm not mad at that at all, actually, because D actually has a very strong case. D has the strongest case, I believe.
The strongest case for what? To take it or
for second place?
You don't think they have that? I mean,
you can argue first. I'm not mad at that.
That's Curry right now. That's Tracy McGrady on the Magic, LeBron on Miami. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's Nowitzki. Probably 2013 when he beat the
everyone's in their prime. This is prime.
Yeah. So
if you were to go on 2K and you got the all-time teams,
but hold on,
you put them on the blacktop roster.
Where would you put Embiid? Is his prime now?
That's the one problem I found with it is Cat even in his prime? I don't think Karl Anthony Towns has hit his prime yet, or Joel Embiid. I still think they have another ceiling to go. And so is Jokic.
That is Jokic.
That's Jokic.
Why they have them? Why it could have been Shaq? It could have been
because that would have been way too easy.
Way too. I mean, you could have put Shaq on A. I was gonna say on C.
That still would have been way too easy.
What do you mean?
Shaq changes the game.
I mean,
if you put him at C, okay, you would have a very strong case for
Shaq,
C.
and then you could have Mutombo. You put the Mutombo somewhere.
Ew.
Okay. He's still a legend.
Oh, I actually did some research on Dikembe Mutombo. I want to say last night. Dikembe Mutombo averaged 16.6 his rookie season. Right? 16.6 points a game. After that, he's played 18 years in the league. So after 17 years, after that 16.6, he never averaged more than 13.3 points a game.
But hold on, what about his rebounds? His blocks? What do he do there?
That's cool.
I mean, he's a big man. That's what he should be doing.
I just don't understand how you go from 16.6 your rookie year to going not averaging more than 13.3 for 17 years.
I mean,
and then for your final 7 years, you're not even in double digits.
Who did he who drafted him? Portland? No.
Nuggets.
Nuggets? Okay, wait, what team did he spend most of his career with? Trailblazers?
No, he didn't play for the Blazers.
No. Who was the team? Was it Rockets?
Hawks.
Hawks?
I think he spent most of his career with the Hawks.
Okay. Who did they have on the Hawks at that time? He could have just passed the scoring off to someone else.
They had Steve Smith. Ooh. Who was on that roster? I know Steve Smith was there.
Forgot to turn my mic on for a second. Rookie move there. So T. Nesbitt, friend of the program. He's actually the full-time on this show, but unfortunately had a medical situation. So he's going to be back next week, hopefully. And hopefully he is on for the debut Nutty North. He said D.
He said D?
One.
Oh, he said D.
I mean, you changed Cat out of there and put someone else. I take Oakley over Cat.
What?
Charles Oakley? I mean, I need someone to be a bully in the paint. Come on.
Okay. Wait. What's your final answer?
My final answer?
Yeah.
I gotta go A.
A is looking like my second place team, kind of.
I would go D, but
I'm going D.
D makes me too
A,
sorry.
B, C.
I'm going B.
You know what?
A, D, C.
Yeah, I'm going A. I'm going A, D, B,
A and
C.
D is so debatable.
You got Kobe and Carmelo on the same team. That kind of worries me.
I don't like the shot selection from either of them.
Yeah.
They're going to shoot them out the game. I guarantee it. If Isaiah Thomas doesn't say stop shooting,
yeah,
it's over with.
I might have to swap mines. Go D, then A, and then B and C.
That's the only thing that's stopping me from picking A from like my number one. It's their shot selection. Right. I just don't think that they have great shot selection as a whole.
I mean, since I looked at it, I gotta be a little wary, but like, I don't know. Like A look like if they make every shot, I feel like A just dominate.
That's spooky.
Like Kobe could hit it from almost anywhere. Carmelo the same, and he could bully you in the paint.
Kobe Bryant is the best bad shot maker of all time.
That's a hot take.
It's not.
I mean, it's not, but
if you look at Kobe Bryant's games, all his shots are so ill-advised. It's like Russell Westbrook with great IQ.
3 people on you, just pull up with a fadeaway.
He'll have the 6th man on you.
6 man.
He'll have 6 players on him and still score somehow. With 5 seconds left in the game.
Yeah.
Like Kobe. Bro.
I mean,
I'm not even mad at you. I'm just wondering how.
He always knocked them down. How can you just dissuade him from doing it, though?
It's terrible shots. They're all horrible shots, and somehow he makes them. He's the best, worst shot maker ever. Now, as far as going back to the teams, D. I don't like D. I don't like Tracy McGrady like that. Tracy McGrady is the most overrated player in our lifetime.
That's, I'm going to leave that argument because I know you and T can get into that. I'm going to leave that for T.
Yeah, it's a lot to. It's not a lot. It's so simple. What playoff success?
I'm not even gonna touch that. I mean, he could have had something with Carter. He could have had something with Vince Carter.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
I guess.
That's more. I think that's more of Toronto's fault.
I mean,
they was just like, okay, we can only keep one of y'all. We like Vince.
It was what? It was personal beef that just kind of turned into something else.
No, VC made it personal beef.
Yeah.
VC was literally going on the court and vocalizing how much he wasn't trying. It was literally the Randy Moss effect. Randy Moss used to say in interviews, especially when he played for the Raiders, he was just like, I'll go out there and perform on a high level when I want to.
Crazy.
But it's also Randy Moss, so it's just like you don't know when he's going to take a day off. You don't even know what a day off with Randy Moss is like.
I mean,
a day off could probably be like 140.
Randy Moss can be allowed to say that. Like, he could have been allowed to say that.
Vince Carter at the time could say that. He was a top 5 player in the league, and he was the best player in a country.
What, in Canada?
In Canada.
Are we really? That's another discussion.
I mean, I'm basically putting in the technical aspects of Vancouver.
Right.
Who you gonna say? Sharif Abdul Rahim,
Nah.
Mike Bibby.
Nah.
Mike Bibby's better than Vince Carter than you.
You got that one. You got that one.
But we're gonna wrap this show up, man. That's just a prime example of what the show is gonna be about as far as the fun. I'm so grateful for everyone who tuned in. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here with Score on Air every single day. I'm grateful for to work with great people such as Rondell and Codey every day. This is truly a blessing for us, and I hope to see you guys every other episode. Then, for more content, check us out, man. And we'll see you guys soon. Thank you once again for tuning in. We are sponsored by Mojo Sports Gear. This is Marvell Nichols signing out.
Peace, Rondell.
And just one more thing before we go. Just don't forget, check out the Brick League tonight. 2 games like we had Monday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Check it out if you like the first 2 games Monday. Come right back here tonight, 8:15. Tip off for the first game. 9:15 there, second game. So a lot of fun the first night. I'm going to be there. I don't know if you guys are going to be there. But
I'm going to be there.
Yep, it's going to be a lot of fun. Tune in right here, scoreonair.com, Score on Air Network on Facebook. Check out all the action from the Brick League. Any wrap up for you guys?
Peace out.
Hit my inbox if you want to drop 40.
And thanks for watching Open Gym this week. Hopefully Teak is healthy and comes back next week. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah.